Okay, I thought of a few things, and this is on my phone and later. So basically, this practice that I'm about to tell you is just the practice of taking your emotions and honing them into a point, so that instead of pointing constantly to what you don't want, which is what attention is. If you're giving your attention to these things that you do not like, you're giving it power. They are draining energy from you into the fear, right? And what you want, you have this what is the word I'm looking for? Separation, basically, between fear and love, right? So what you're trying to do is you're trying to move the needle away from fear and towards love and towards what you would prefer, right? So I'm just giving you this how, and we have, I'm not just speaking like out my ass, okay? There are, since I remember hearing about the studies from when I was younger, there have been so many studies done since then to show that this works, that intention, honed intention into a singular position actually has an effect in the real world. Now, whether that is you going and physically practicing until something that you want actually happens, or if you are, in this case, meditating on love around you, that is specifically proven to have an effect on the crime rate in the area, right? At least in the area. I am talking about specifically how to send the energy that you want into the positions of power that you want to see. That's what this is. If you want to see corruption, then go ahead and meditate on them being as corrupt as possible, because that's what's going to keep happening, because that's what's been happening. Because they use fear to try to control our emotions. This is us using love to try to replace them with love, okay? So that's what I mean when I say using love as a weapon. I don't actually like that, because I don't think of love as a weapon. I just think that that is going to get the point across of what I'm trying to say, that we are trying to replace them. This is literally how we take our power back, and we say we're the ones with the power, we're the ones who have a say. And we're going to do it with or without you. So either buck up and stop acting a fool, or, you know, get out. So this is the path to how we do that. If you feel totally powerless and like there's nothing safe for you to do, this is just something safe to try to get you in the right mindset. Now, does that mean that you are not supposed to pay attention? To a certain degree. I have been paying less attention to the news because it's harder and harder for me to hone my intention into the right place if my mind is stuck in this fear base over here. And I can feel it. As soon as I start to feel myself getting super worked up or something, I'm like, no, that is giving the energy to the wrong place. So I'm going to come back over here and center myself in love, and those positions which are doing things or whatever that I don't agree with on a moral level, I'm going to send them love. And people are like, oh, light and love is not productive. It fucking can be. This is how it becomes productive. And you can take it or leave it. It's not going to do any harm. At worst, it's just something to try to get your mind in the right perspective and out of the powerlessness that a lot of us are feeling right now. So take it or leave it, whatever. Here is how you do it. One quick note that I forgot to mention. So as it begins to work, things always get worse before they get better. Just remember that, because a caged animal is going to fight. It's not just going to die peacefully. If you corner it, it is going to fight for its life. So if we are trying to oust the corruption, that corruption, those people who are in those positions are going to fight back, and it's going to be ugly, but that is temporary. And that is why you'll hear people say that when you have like struggle and things come up in your life, instead of caving in, you're supposed to be like, this is right on time, because that means that it has no more power in your life, and it's exiting your life, and it's having one last, as it's trying to survive, because energy always wants to survive. So if all of a sudden they get really fucking violent, they're just showing their hands. They're showing that they don't have the control that they want to have, because if they had control, everything would look peaceful on the outside. If they are looking violent on the outside, it just shows that they're not able to hide their actions anymore. Just keep that in mind, because that's how I'm seeing it, okay? All right, bye. So there's this idea that I've had for a long time, and I've been trying to figure out how to share it in a way that I think people will understand or resonate with or latch onto, because right now, and I want to stress that I don't actually agree with this explanation, but for the sake of describing it to people in a way that is going to make sense, I'm going to describe it this way. Think of love like a weapon. You feel really disempowered, like there's nothing you can do, and you are really empathetic and really compassionate, and you want to be able to do something, and protests are going nowhere, and you want to do something that makes a difference. And this is something that it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, you can do this. And when I say it doesn't matter what side, it doesn't mean that I don't have certain moral beliefs. We all have our own moral center. What I mean is that it doesn't matter who you are. This is something that is a positive outlet, right? Okay. So what I'm talking about, love as a weapon, is this idea that, you know what, I'm just going to go into how to do it, okay? It is a meditation practice, right? So, but it's not like a traditional meditation practice. It's not like the whole center yourself and try to calm yourself down and make yourself feel better. No, it's a way to visualize, or there's other ways if you don't have like the ability to visualize in your mind, you can just you feel your emotions. It's basically a way to target your emotions in the direction that you want them to go. Okay, so how I do this, and I've read some books since I started doing this and found out that it's pretty darn close to the way that other cultures have also done this. All right, so what you do is, first off, you have your emotions in like its own little sphere. You can't attach them to fears. You can't attach them to events. You have to attach them to, like, let's say I'm visualizing someone who is opposed to the opinions that I have, the beliefs, my core moral center. And there is this person outside of my core moral center that is different than I am, that I think maybe needs psychological help or something, right? Their experience with life is so far removed from anything that is even close to what I believe, that I think that maybe there is something actually wrong with them, right? So what I do is I imagine that person, that group of people, whatever. And what I do, first off, I've got my really strong emotions. They're just, ooh, and the bigger the emotions, the more strong this is going to be, okay? So it gets really powerful real quick. And I know it's going to take practice, because what I'm telling you to do is to not focus on the event, but focus on the emotion. So what you're going to do is you're going to focus that powerful, powerful feeling into this sense of compassion and love. So you're going to take that person who is completely opposite your moral center, and you are going to just imagine that. Now here's where it gets weird, and I'm going to tell you why. You're going to imagine the position that they hold in the world and the universe. Like, let's say they're the mayor of your town. You're going to imagine the position of the mayor of your town. That position that you want to be filled with compassion and love. And right now it's currently, in your opinion, not filled with compassion and love. You're going to look at that position of the mayor of your town, and you are going to just focus all of that energy, that really powerful, really energetic, emotional, like, just like, and I imagine like a gold light. That's how I always imagine. I imagine like a gold light, and it just kind of comes up through my feet, like, just there. This is why it takes so long to explain this. So when you ground, I imagine like a root system, and so roots take in nourishment. So you're gathering nourishment basically from the earth itself, and the earth itself wants peace and love in the world. So I'm gathering up that light through my roots, up through my root chakra to my crown chakra, and I am imagining it coming out the palms of my hands, right? And so I will sit there in whatever pose I'm meditating in, and I will put my hands out. And I'm sorry the camera's really close because I couldn't get it further away. So I imagine it coming out of my hands, and it's just like imagine dandelion fluff. It's just flying through the air, but it is filling that position of the mayor of your town, right? It is just lighting up. It's like sunlight, like just golden energy, and it just fills up that position. And I imagine like a human-shaped hole, right where that mayoral position is, and that human-shaped hole just gets super, super bright with all of that golden energy. And the more emotion you put into it, the stronger the energy, the more power is going to go to that position. And the reason you don't want to send it straight to your mayor is, well, first off, if that mayor ends up getting replaced, the next person who comes in could be just as corrupt. So you don't want that. You want the position itself to be full of love and compassion and empathy. Secondly, you don't want bad karma. Like, karma actually does have an effect on you. And if you don't want to curse people, you don't want to mess with the possibility of having something come back on you. But the position itself, that's just a job, man. That's just a thing, right? So you fill that position with all of the love and all of the compassion and empathy and sympathy and pity and whatever else. Like, you just have these emotions, these deep, deep emotions of, oh my God, you must have been through so much to have ended up in such a place that you could imagine such cruel things happening to so many people. And you just find joy in being this person that you must be, to be so full of anger and so full of hate. You must have been through so much. That kind of thing. And I just feel it. I just feel all of that compassion for the person who would probably like do terrible things to me if they could, if because we are so opposed to each other, right? I just imagine, like, to the point where I could like start tearing up because I feel so bad or so much love for how they must have existed up to this point, right? And I send that to all that position. And usually what I do is I go through like the highest ranking powerful positions in the world down to the lowest, until I'm just sending it out to all of our higher selves, and I'm just sending it out to the whole world. Like, I'll send it out to whoever it is that is opposed to me, until I'm sending it out to people who's not opposed to me, who also need love and compassion, because we all need love and compassion, right? And literally the entire time I'm sending out the love through my hands. And this is a really general, really simple, because the sun is going down, example of how this works. So what I do is I will usually listen to music. There's certain music that helps me a lot to keep that emotion going. I have a whole playlist actually, and for me what it is, because the certain songs, it's basically what kind of music is going to get you feeling that way. Like what kind of music is just going to be going, oh, your heartstrings are just being pulled. For me it's literally like music from movies, literally the kind of music that they put at the climax of movies. So if a movie is at a point where there's something really sad happening and you're just sitting there crying, that's the song you want in your playlist. So I have a playlist with a whole bunch, or if you have a song that's just making you feel like, oh my god, they're so in love, oh, that song that they're playing in the background to get you like so emotional about their first kiss or whatever, that's the song you want. And I have a playlist full of songs like that. Or the epic song, the epic music, the really like, oh, this is like really happening, I'm really getting invested. Songs like that. Whatever does it for you. For me, it's movie music and like video game music and stuff like that. Maybe for you, it's death metal. I don't know. Whatever it is, you go ahead and you pick it, because the whole thing is emotions. Emotions are like top. That is the most important thing. But you also, I'm sorry, I should have said this at the beginning. I'm going off the cuff. You have to be able to not be focusing on events, because you have to be able to remove yourself from the situation. This is the hard part. This sounds really easy. It's actually really hard to do, because it takes practice, mental practice, to get in this place. So what you want to do is you have to be able to not think of the events themselves. You need to be thinking of the energy, the gold light, right? That light and that love and that compassion. And if you are stuck thinking about, oh my god, this mayor did this terrible thing and I'm so spitting angry and I can't believe that happened and whatever, no, that is not what this is. This is the hope for the future. This is that the next person who gets in, first off, what's the benefit of doing this? The benefit of doing this is that position is so energetically full of, and for me, there's a reason why I choose gold light, because gold light is enduring. Gold, if you're looking at atoms, the electrons that go around the neutron of gold spin at almost the speed of light. So you can find gold, you can dig up gold from like centuries ago, and it's still shining and looks, it hasn't tarnished, because of the energy of gold matter itself. So that is why I choose gold light, because I imagine that gold light is going to last in that position. So if I'm pushing gold light specifically into that position, like the mayoral position, and it just started snowing, if I push gold light into that position, then it's going to last. In a lot of times you'll hear about sending energy out and it fades after a couple of hours, but gold specifically endures. So you want this position. So the person who's in that position of the mayor, let's say it's the mayor, so right? So he's got the mayoral position, and all of a sudden, if he is not energetically aligned, if he's not able to resonate on that level with that much power and energy, the thing that's going to happen is he won't be able to hold on to his position as mayor in general, because this goes into kind of like the idea of energy, wavelengths, everything. Basically, it goes into the density, 3D and the 5D, and that's a different video. So just understand, and I have experienced this myself, and I was not prepared to be experienced. It started getting really cold when I was not prepared to have the high energy, like really compassionate, really loving energy hit me yet. I got really, really sick when I started meditating and experiencing this really positive light and everything. So the reason why you want this really positive, really high vibrational 5D energy to go into that specific position is it's enduring. And the person who's in that position, if they are stuck in corruption, in greed, and all those other kind of bad things, then they are not going to be able to hold on to that position. The secrets are going to come out. They're gonna have string bad luck. Something's going to happen. Maybe they'll get sick. That's what happened to me. I got really sick. And not like deathly ill or anything, but like I got sick. So they'll have something happen, and then they aren't going to be able to contain their employment as the mayoral position. They're going to lose it. Right? And the higher the power, the more power surrounding them, the more work it's going to take to break that position, right? And that is why I've been wanting people to do this. Because if we all can do this, we can just send love to these positions, and corruption and greed, they cannot live in those positions. So it doesn't matter if you're a blue or red person, it does not matter. We can all do this because I think we can all agree that we don't want that corruption, we don't want that greed. The whole drain the swamp thing became popular for a reason, right? We all resonate with that. I know some people think that I don't. And it's okay. Like be thinking you don't. I don't like sides. I try not to take sides anymore, because I realize that is the problem, is that they're trying to separate us into different camps so that we don't come together and unify. Anyway, and we need to be like listening to each other. So, but the point is that I think we can all agree that we want the corruption to stop. We want the greed to stop. And you don't have to stop at just like political positions. You can go into like business positions. Like imagine Wall Street. Imagine CEOs. Imagine like, anyone who has a position, your local homeowners association, like whatever it is, or you see a corrupt person, and my battery's gonna die. So I'm just letting you know that this is where I might have to finish this on my phone at the house later. But But this is where you're going to have your most luck. If we can get more people doing this all the time, sending that energy to those positions of power, that is it. You have to really focus on sending it to the position, not to the person, to the position. And what else? And my third eye will start to really feel like it's open. And when I get really intense meditations, I will actually physically see a shape. Like with my eyes closed, I will see the shape, like you're getting an ocular migraine or something. That's what it looks like. But it's a specific shape that I see when I meditate. It actually looks like an eye. So I feel like I'm looking right at my third eye, which is kind of funny to me because I don't think most people see it that way. They see it as like blue lights or white lights. And the better you get at this, the more visible that shape becomes. And I'm still a student, so I'm still learning, so I'll update this as I go. But if we could just start revolution with our voice doing this, steal it, take it, whatever, I don't care. Do it, send it to people that you know, that you care about, and do this meditation. And hopefully that way we can make it so that it is not a toxic place to live in the world. We'll just send out as much love as we possibly can. Things I forgot to mention: stay super hydrated. Imagine the water, just imagine that the water has the power of love, okay? Just leave it at that for now. Like, look it up. You can look into it. You can imagine the water being full of the gold light and helps bring it to your body. Stay super hydrated. And also, when you're meditating, the thing that they tell you to do that is absolutely a key is that you take the deep breaths. You know, breathe into your nose and out through your mouth. Like, take a really deep breath into your nose all the way down your, like as deep as you can to your belly, and then breathe out through your mouth so that it all gets emptied, like is twice as long out as it does to take in. That's pretty simple. You can look up all the different techniques to breathe too, that if you like, but that's a really super simple way. And there's something else. Also, when you're grounding, if you don't like imagine roots, you can also imagine like a light coming from the universe and kind of like hitting you on your crown and sending you power to your crown. That is also a way that you can ground. You can put your feet into water. I'm just giving things that are possible, like, however you ground, go ahead and ground. It's hard to do it in the winter because usually I have my bare feet on the ground and I can't do that right now. I remembered something else too. If you feel the need, okay, this isn't so much traditional. This is more of a modern take that I think is valuable. Sometimes when you're meditating, you're supposed to be super still and all that kind of stuff. I get that. But a lot of times, in order to get into that emotional place, it can help to move your body. And sometimes, like when I am meditating, like when I am trying to get into this place, it also helps me to really hone my emotions, to listen to what my body is telling me to do. And I kind of know the difference. If it's time to be sitting still and concentrating, you're really going to know that you need to be concentrating. But sometimes your body, in order to get into that mental place, your body is going to kind of tell you to be moving. Like, sometimes I'll have to crack my neck and it's whatever it is. It's kind of like mudras and stuff like that. You put your hands in specific positions and it gives you like a power in certain ways. It's kind of like that. Just listen to your body and your body will tell you what to do to keep that emotion in its most powerful place. And also, I think that there are other reasons now, especially like historically, like if you look at these the whole yoga has its place for a reason. So moving your body around, dancing, that is super important. And it sounds ridiculous, but literally just like exercising is very important. And your food, what you eat too, can also have an effect on how powerful this works. And I have a tendency to be eating bad right now, so it's harder for me to get into this mode, especially dark out. Last thing that I forgot, you can do this even if you're ADHD. I'm just going to tell you right now, I have a job where I'm moving all day, and I can listen to the music and I can get into this mindset while I'm moving. I know that this is not sitting for hours in a single position kind of meditation. You can move. You can be cleaning. You can be using a fidget spinner or whatever. Whatever is going to get your mind in that place, you can do it. So go ahead and try it while you're walking around. No one can stop you from thinking. Wow, that light is bright. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.